Hey, you are here, you're brand new to coaching, you either got your certificate now or you're in that second wave of your career, as I like to refer to, where you have paid your dues, you've learned your lessons, you've made your mistakes, and you've triumphed over those mistakes, and now you're starting your coaching business so that you can share with others how to avoid those mistakes. I got you. I've been there. In 2016, I decided to quit my good paying job and embark on this entrepreneurial coaching journey. And while I can tell you that at the very beginning it was quite scary, I was wondering, what the heck did I just do? I wondered that, in fact, several times a day for about 6 to 12 months. But I can tell you that on the other side, it is all green grass, roses, and butterflies. And I want you to skip 4 years of suffering like I did, so that you don't have to waste all that time and money that I actually did. So here's how what we focus on when it comes to growing your coaching business. First, I'm going to tell you what not to focus on. And this is probably going to be contrary to what you have been taught by other so-called experts. Please, please, please do not focus on growing your coaching business through social media. It is not going to help you. In fact, if you look at my social media account, I have whopping 366 followers. 366 followers. And on our Ascension account that we just started last week, we have 21 followers. Yeah, if we waited for that to make us money, we would be looking for a day job, right? So social media is not going to get you money. It does not followers do not equal dollars. They probably do for influencers, but as coaches, we are not influencers. We are the expert at our craft. So what do? I'll tell you exactly what you do, but I'll tell you a story first. Watch this. About a month ago, there was a cold day, and one of Ella's school buddies put out a stand in her front yard with hot cocoa on it. And as we all walked by her house, a few people stopped by and bought hot cocoa for their kids, right? I don't know how much money she made. But then this kid got really smart, and a few days later, she scooted her booth all the way to the crosswalk where every single child, every single walker had to walk past that stand. So what happened there was so important. Every single kid bought hot cocoa. There was a huge line right there in front of her stand because we were all cold. Every mom and dad wanted to give their kid whatever they needed to get warm on the way home. And that kid made a ton of money. She made a killing. So what that tells us is, don't call people to your hot cocoa stand, to your social media account. Go where everybody is. And in the coaching world, I'm just going to use this name as an example. Everybody is in the Tony Robbins world, right? Tony Robbins. He's the guy that every coach knows. So for example, if you waited for people to come to your stand, it would take a long time. Or you can go to Tony's stand and you can share your expertise there. You can sell your hot cocoa there. So what does that really mean, right? For example, Tony has 6.4 million followers on his account. What you might want to do is go to his account and contribute to what he is saying. And let me break that down for you. For example, if Tony says, the secret to living is giving, by contributing, I mean, say something meaningful, right? Say something that kind of tells a story about you, right? Say something where you can say, you know what, Tony, I implemented this into my life, and now the more I give, the more I have. I just came up with that, right? Instead of hearts or fire emojis. I always do this when I say emoji. I don't know why. So if you think about it, every person who posts hearts or emojis of some sort, they're blending in, right? Nobody really notices them. But if you put something meaningful there, if you add to his followers, if you add to the people who subscribe to his belief, you're adding value. You are creating a presence for yourself. And that is what stands out. When you say, yes, you know what, Tony, I implemented this into my life's practice, and it turns out that I get more than I could ever ask for since then. Somebody is going to say, you know what, me too. And then somebody's going to say, me three. And you're going to create a chain effect here where people are going to pay attention to you. They're going to say, wait a minute, who is this person? And you might end up with an extra follower, right? Without having to do a lot of work. So putting meaningful stuff out there is the most important thing you can do. For example, if you are saying, you know what, Instagram, not my jam. Even Tony, not my jam. He's my jam. I've followed the guy. I've loved everything he said from 30 years ago to today. I had the opportunity to even work with him for a number of years. So he is my jam. But if he isn't your jam and you say, you know what, I'm more of a Glennon Doyle podcaster, right? Fantastic. Go ahead and make a list of your top 5, top 10, top 100 podcasts and send messages to those people and say, you know what, love your podcast, specifically love this about your podcast, right? So you're not just blowing smoke, you're actually speaking the truth. And I would love to add to your subscribers, to add to your followers on these topics, because I am an expert on these topics. So because we don't want to just say, hey, I love your podcast, I'd love to be invited to it. Doesn't mean anything to that person, right? You want to add value to the person you're trying to communicate with. Now, if you say, you know what, it's just not my jam, podcast, online world, I'm over it, I'm more of an in-person coach. Fantastic. Go ahead and join every networking group within your region. When I first started, I joined every single networking group that I could imagine. At that time, I was in the weight loss world, so I joined mainly women networking groups where women, because I was 36, my daughter was 4 at the time, I had gone through major transformation, physical transformation, and I wanted to help other moms experience the same. So I joined that kind of group. And then I asked every single group founder, hey, how can I volunteer? How can I help? You know, I was like part of the welcoming committee. I was the social media manager. I was the outreach coordinator, all of these different positions so that I could stand out through service, right? That is really the common theme here. In order for you to get anything, you have to give first. Right? In order for you to receive a hug from your kid, you have to give them love, you have to give them nourishment, you have to do a lot of things in order for your kid to actually feel safe with you. You have to do the same thing with your partner, you have to do the same thing with everybody out there, and there's no difference when you are growing your network. And I'm going to tell you why. If you look at my account, as I said, 366 followers on my Instagram account, 21 followers on our Ascension account. And I know that we're going to grow that, and we're not depending on it financially. But in my coaching business, I have a cap because I have other projects going on. I have a cap on my coaching business for 20 clients, right? My clients, I have some clients that I have worked with for years, but my clients' investment is $5,000 for a 6-month program. And then we ascend again the following contract, right? We don't re-enroll, I don't renew, but we do ascension. And that is $200,000 a year. You can survive on $200,000 a year, I think, right? I've survived on $30,000 a year. So if you are looking to grow your financial income based on your social media following, you're going to be in trouble. But if you focus on serving, going to where the masses are and serving there, whether it's Instagram community, Facebook community, podcasting community, in-person networking community, whatever it is, go where the masses are and stand out through service. Imagine that if you did this for 30 years, for 30 days, you're going to come back to this video and you are going to say, you know what, Alma, you were right. Go out there and stand out.